What's going on, guys? Blake Tucker fishing. What we're gonna do this morning is we're gonna spider rig for crappie. I've got 4 rods. 2 of them are Benham rods. They're all 10 foot. I got one Mr. Crappie rod, and I got my personal favorite, the Denali Prime 10 foot 2-piece rod. The air temperature right now is around 55 degrees. The water temp back up in this creek is, some parts are around 68 and then some parts are around 75, so within that range. We got hooks and minnows, we got jigs, we got road runners. So we got a good bit for them to choose from. This brush pile is in about 10 foot of water, so that's why I went ahead and got my table set, and I went ahead and cut my depth finder off. That's one thing that will help you if you're fishing shallow, is if you go ahead and bait your rods and go ahead and just turn off your depth finder. So that's one less thing that'll spook them. I would like it just a little bit better if we had just a tad bit of wind, but you know, you can't always get what you want. So we're gonna try it out. We got a couple brush piles that we're gonna try to fish this morning. It's around 8:30, and we're gonna see what we can do. I believe we got ourselves our first fish. Nope, he came off. Hey, they here. I think it's just small fish though, but you don't never know when you're fishing brush piles. It could be a bunch of little ones, or it could be a bunch of big ones, or it could be a mix of all of them. So you don't never know until you try them. All right, guys, we got us on a bunch of them. Yeah, there's one in the boat. Here comes another one if he'll stay hooked. And that was on fire. 2 of them going down at the same time on this brush pile. That one came off of a pink 1/8 ounce jig head. And this plastic, I had it tipped with the minnow. This plastic is the Bobby Garland Moglow. I thought the color was pretty cool, so I picked me up a pack. There's, it's a decent one. That would be a good one to bring home. And then here's the next one. Did he come unhooked? He sure did. But we got him in the boat. Not too bad. Not too bad. We hadn't been fishing this spot for probably about not even a minute. They're not giants, but tell you what, that'd be some good eating. Throw them in some grease. Oh yeah. I tell you what, this lake doesn't have many big fish, but it sure does got the numbers. We're gonna release these fish on the back side of the boat here, because I don't want to spook them off the brush pile. There's one more look at them. One more look. I'll take bites like that any day. I don't care how big they are. Oh, and there goes that one. Okay. All right. If y'all can kind of see the setup a little bit, I'm just in a 14-foot V-bottom john boat. It's real wide in the front. I do have it set up to where I can have a double seat up here. So I'm going to show you what we got going on. I got 4-pound Crappie Max line, high vis, size number 2. Eagle Claw light wire panfish hook, small split shot, 3/8 ounce sinker, and that's it. That's what I have on all of them. And now the jigs, you know, obviously have a jig, but it's still the same weight, still the same way that I keep the egg sinker in place. So we'll try to turn around here so glare of the sun. And all I'm doing, I'm gonna take that minnow, hook it straight through the lips. That's it. And then we'll take this rod and we'll kind of pitch it just a tad to get it away from the boat. And there we go. It's going straight down where it needs to be. I've noticed that if you kind of do just a tad bit of a pitch, that it don't, you know, get tangled up around the weight. And then there again, there's that plastic. Yeah. And you can hook, you can tip jigs many different ways with minnows. You can hook them straight through the lips. You can hook them through the tail. That one came off of just hooking him straight through the lips. So that's the way we're going to do it again. There it is. Okay. It's a good way to get on fish. But turning that depth finder off when the water's real shallow, it can make or break you. I caught those two fish off to the right of this brush pile. This lake has a lot of crappies in it, a ton of crappies in it. And the people that's over this lake was kind enough to, there went one, he took the minnow with it, was kind enough to put out brush piles, and they got them marked. I've got brush piles put out at a different lake, but I wanted to come here today. It's been a minute since I've been out here to fish, so we're just trying to test some fish out. So we got a bunch of different things coming at them, and all I'm doing, I'm just bumping the trolling motor. That's it. Just bumping the trolling motor. And we should be about right on top of the brush. And we got one right here. Look at there. Ooh, man, that was a big one. That was a big fish. It seems like there's a lot of big fish on this brush pile. You know they big when they start going to the left or the right. And it's hard to keep the rod in your hand. You know they big. We either got the brush pile or we got a fish. There we go. It came out. Seems like they on fire right here. Shallow water. You don't always have to fish deep, and you don't always have to fish shallow. You just fish where the fish are. Hopefully we can get on some more. All right, guys. As soon as I cut the camera off, we got on another one. That's a good fish. That's a good fish anywhere. Now, I was just talking about how it don't have big fish. It don't have a lot of, 12 plus inch fish. There's a nice crappie. And they're right off to the right of this brush pile, and it seemed like every time I bump that trolling motor, that's when they want to get them some. Nice crappie. We're gonna throw him to the side. Got the brush pile there. It's gonna happen, guys. It's gonna happen. So we're gonna try to get that unhung. This one's got a fish on it. Man, I can't even cut the camera off. not too long. This one came off a Roadrunner, tipped with the minnow. Thing is about crappies, their mouths are so thin that sometimes you got to be careful just going, straight in to lip them. He's not a big fish, but he's thick. He's thick. If we were keeping fish, I'd take that one. Okay. All right. I'm going to cut the camera off, and we're going to go ahead and get this thing unhung right here and get us situated, so y'all stick around. Okay, so we ended up breaking this one off. And what I do when I break off is I like to kind of push back away from the brush pile so I don't spook no fish. But I figured this would be a good time to show y'all how I'm rigging this up. So, okay. 3/8 ounce egg sinker. Okay. We'll put that on first. And I want probably about 18 inches or so between the sinker and my hook. And then I'm taking, I don't even know what size split shot this is. I have no earthly idea. It's kind of hard to do it with the camera. Okay, so I got that right there. Okay, then if you want to put a jig, trim a little bit off there, you put your jig on, good to go. This one, you know what, we're gonna use, what do we got on here? We got a straight minnow on there. Try to break it up, I got pink over here. I've got white over here. Running out of chartreuse. It's the last one I got out of that pack. Okay, so all I'm going to tie is just a clinch knot. It's a strong knot. Easy to tie. See there, I had a fray in that line that I didn't feel, and it broke. But I'd rather it break right here while I'm doing this versus having a 3-pound crappie on the end of your rod. Okay, there's that. So this is what you got. Okay, you got that right there. This weight is just to keep it down, and this jig head, it gives it some more weight, but honestly it just gives it color, gives it something different than just a plain minnow. Sometimes that's the best way to go. Sometimes you cannot beat it, no matter what you try. Okay, straight through the lips, and there it is. That right there is the simplest way to do it. In my opinion, just the best way to do it. You can have leaders, and you can have, your barrel swivels and 2-way rig, 3-way rigs, but honestly, if you fish in brush, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time, because you will end up getting upset that you're getting hung up, and then you losing all your equipment, and it takes time to retie it. You can pre-tie your rigs before you come out, but I always just do it that way. It makes it easy, especially if you got kids. The kids, they want to be put on fish, so if if you break off, you want to do it real quick so you can get right back on that brush pile. So that's just a little tip for y'all. Oh, that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. We just came back up on this brush pile. I had another one get hung up. And they still here. Yeah, usually by now, they would be, so finicky that you couldn't even get them to bite, but they on fire right here. And it's on this side. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around and come back behind them. I can't tell. Sometimes it's hard to tell when you got a bite. And look right there, look right there. We just put it down. Just put it down. And he took the minnow with him. That was a small fish. They've definitely changed what they're interested in. They were liking that Roadrunner pretty good and the jigs, but now they wanting straight minnows, which we've been on top of them, I would say, probably about going on 10 minutes or so. So it's about time for them to want something else. But all right, like I said, we're gonna turn to the left, and we're gonna try to get back on that brush pile. So y'all stick around. All right, guys. Did like I said, went to the left, came back around, and then there he is. Sometimes that's all you got to do. If you ain't getting no bites after you've been getting bites, just give them a second. Give them a minute. Either that or just put something different on. Sometimes if they're hitting straight minnows, instead of putting one minnow on there, put two of them. If they hitting jig, well, change the color of your jig, change the shape, change the diameter, change the length. All of it will make a difference. All right. Another thing that I like to do is when I catch crappies off brush piles and it's real shallow like this, I caught that fish about right in here. Take that crappie, if you go throw him back, throw him over there, because he will come back to that brush pile and he'll spook those fish that are right there. So all right, now I think we're gonna give this brush pile just a few more go arounds. They really slowed down. Even though we've changed a lot of stuff, they still have slowed down. But that's all right, because we got plenty more brush piles to go. This one's hung up right here. Hopefully we can get it off without having to move. All right, we'll go get this one unhung and we'll get back with it. All right. He was running with it. He was running with it. I guarantee if we put it back down there and give him a second, he'll take it again. Or maybe he won't. So we'll just see. As soon as I cut the daggum thing off. And there he is. They up here in this brush. That's where they at. What's going on over here? Nope. It's probably the smallest one off this brush pile. And it could be worse. We could be catching, you know, teeny weeny little things. But hey, I'll take it. It's a fish. It's fish.